What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. My name is David Osmond. I'm here with some amazing friends, and they are an incredible performing family. I've been a fan since I was a kid, listening to their music. It's so fun to have them here and reminisce because we kind of grew up together in so many ways. I have members of the Jets family here in studio. Round of applause for you guys. Also, Chris Sloan, who's board of directors for a great foundation called Life's Worth Living Foundation. And we're going to talk a little bit about a project that you guys did together, which is so cool. But I want to dive into your family, the musicality. 1977, I believe, is when the family started doing music together. So for those that are listening to this podcast, maybe they know your hits, your Billboard charts. But if they don't, give us, I want to go back to the beginnings of how the Jets started, because that origination story is so foundational and awesome. Thank you for joining me today, you guys.
Thank you so much, David. For this younger generation, it started 40 years ago.
It's wild. But it seems like yesterday, right? Yeah, there it is, 40 years of the Jets.
Right. Celebrating 40 years.
Rudy's got the swag here. Heine, Vanessa's here. And you got so many other siblings and family that you've been performing with.
Well, we started right here in Salt Lake City, just down the street in Rose Park, 1977. My father, immigrant from Tonga. In 1965, the Wolfgrams landed right here in Salt Lake City. Very cold. They thought everything was dead here. The trees were not green. So
they were coming to Zion.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So in 1977, having 8 children at the time, by the time they were here, and saw your family, the Osmonds, or the Jacksons on TV.
Yeah, right. You're like, well, we can do this,
and thought to himself, I think we can pull this off. We have no knowledge of playing music.
So this started from scratch. You didn't have any musical upbringing of any kind.
My dad was a former bodybuilder and weightlifter, so he had that I can do anything kind of attitude.
Tough guy.
He was like, let's pivot right now, kids. We're doing a lot of yard work. You guys are going to school.
Oh, man.
This music thing looks real fun. So
I didn't realize that about you guys. And so you guys learned fast.
Yeah,
got in the
he had
trenches.
An oldest brother, Leroy, which was
gifted,
musically talented.
Yeah.
Kind of learned how to pick up things quick. He said, Leroy, you're in charge of teaching the rest of the, your brothers and sisters here. And I was 9 years old. Rudy was probably 8. My sister Kathy was 7.
Yeah.
And Leroy was 10, or he was 11. So we came home from school one day and he bought all the instruments and it looked great.
Did your Tongan heritage play into the musicality of what style of music you were doing?
I think musically, yes, because we danced, and my mother was a hula dancer and taught us all the dances from all the islands.
You guys move on stage like crazy.
So that came into play a lot. But I think it's just...
Matter of fact, my mom and her sister-in-laws, they would do the shows here in the 70s. Uh-huh. There was a place called the Hawaiian Inn, the Polynesia, so they did these big, huge Polynesian shows. And that's what we did before we were the Jets. And she didn't know how to play the ukulele. And what else?
Your name before it was the Jets was something else. Was Quasar? Is that what it was?
It was Quasar, and before that it was Polynesian Pearls.
Oh, so right. It's going back.
From, Polynesia to, TV set, and then finally the Jets,
I'm sure the OG Utah fans are like, oh, I remember those days. Those were the best.
Yes, we started, I think it was our elementary talent show.
Yes.
Was our very first show.
And then to go from that to becoming such a household name, an incredible career, 5 top 10 hits, Billboard Hot 100, Crush on You, Rocket to You, or some of the titles, and so many more. To go from no music to saying, we can do this too as a family, to having such great success. I mean, that must have been like a roller coaster.
Yes, well, it was like they say, it was that overnight success of 7 years of traveling on the road like gypsies. Yeah. So people don't realize that
it's hard.
My father made the decision to quit his job, buy a van, and we just hit the road, and we ended up in the Midwest of the United States and Minnesota, and that's how we got discovered.
You don't see that side of it.
No, living in rest areas, and we were kind of really a gypsy family.
No guarantee, but a passion behind what you had.
Yeah, we started in 77, ended up getting our contract in 1985.
Okay.
And that's a long period of time. Realized that we were doing this for a while, ended up to be in Minneapolis at the right place at the right time when Prince was making a big scene.
Yeah.
So all the record labels were going there to find talent, and we happened to be there.
Playing at a club.
And shortly after that, a few short years, nominated for a Grammy for Rocket to You.
Yes.
Right.
That's crazy. That's awesome success.
I tease my sisters all the time because she sang all the number 1 hits, but the only song that was nominated for a Grammy was a song that I sang. I'm not really a lead singer. I wish I had the voice like
You
yours.
stole the thunder.
But I said,
That's awesome.
R&B vocal.
You caught lightning in a bottle.
By the way.
man. How did that, from then on, how did that affect your career, getting that kind of national acclaim and success and notoriety?
Well, it changed us as a family. Think about it. We were just nobodies, and then all of a sudden, everyone knew who we were. We actually put Tonga on the map. People didn't know, where are you guys from, Tonga? They thought we were from Africa or somewhere else.
Yeah.
We did like 3 world tours and toured so many countries and all over the United States. So it took us everywhere, and we just couldn't believe how fast we went from nothing to something, Being
it was
on Good
exciting.
Morning America and Day Today.
In
Playing at the White House, actually, we were invited.
The music, it's so fun and driven. I'm sure just having a blast and to see the success finally coming back after so much, driving from gig to gig in a van, like that's you've earned your stripes, certainly. And then to have the acclaim, you got the talent to back it up, and the bond as a family. Like you said, we don't see a lot of those behind the scenes of the early days. What about from your perspective? Is there anything so memorable, like some of your favorite moments of growing up together performing and having career moments? Yeah, you performed at some huge arenas all over the place and doing some great performances. But what about, what's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory is just meeting the people to look up to, and they knew who we were.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was the joy of the fact of the matter. And one day, being able to rub shoulders, again, Donnie and Janet Jackson, a lot of people, walks of life, music industry.
Yeah.
Peter Cetera didn't know that he liked the Jets.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Ran into him in the bathroom, and he was, "Oh man, we love your song."
Where you always
got
meet
it all
everybody.
right.
Yeah.
And then we were in L.A., and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson wanted to come to our show, so got to meet them
That's
as
so
well.
cool.
So,
Also, the
like
boxer,
Mike
Tyson came.
Yeah.
Was wanting to check out one of my sisters back in the day.
Okay.
Luckily, that didn't happen.
And she had a lot of bodyguards on her side with you guys, I'm sure.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. And speaking of Tyson, you go to Vegas, and now you're where all the stars are, and even Donnie's still doing his residency. Right. You're still going after 40 years. You have your own residency. It's at Planet Hollywood. What's it like being back on stage after 4 decades and performing these great musics, the 80s, the 90s, the glory days of this great genre?
Well,
is that fun for you guys?
We took a break. After all touring for 10 years straight, we all had families and got married. But coming in, creating this show in Las Vegas 5 years ago, we've been there for about 5 years. It's been wonderful. I think Rudy, Leroy, and I we're getting there. Getting close in our 50s or 60s anyways. And
well, whatever lotion and potion you're using, I said before, you guys look great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll tell you something about Vegas. When back in the 80s, people always said that Vegas is where go to die. It's the place where it's a cemetery of entertainment.
Where you wind up,
you wind up there. But now, not anymore. Everyone wants to be in Vegas. Every major star wants to have a residency.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're just really fortunate that we're able to have our show there. And Vegas is very different. It's not a place where you die anymore musically. You go there to get your career going somehow.
Back to the 80s and 90s experience. Is that what the name of the show is?
Back to the 80s. Yeah.
Oh, well, everything's cyclical. It's all coming back around. Even this new generation just loves that sound. Are you finding new fan base, new audience? And Vanessa, a part of the show, all this. What's this like for you?
It is so much fun. It's fun. The thing that I love about it is it's our high aerobic class.
I like that. That's ultimate spin class.
Because if you want to come and you want to have fun, you want to reminisce, it's the best show to go to. It's just
knowing your family and watching from behind the scenes with you guys, growing up with you and loving your music as a kid too, and seeing so many of your shows, you know how to put on a great show. The business of show, you bring so much energy and heart, and I'm sure it's just a blast. I can't wait to come down and party with you guys and rock it to you as well. It's awesome.
Well, our ex-manager, Don Powell, comes from Motown, so he kind of taught us that Motown way of putting shows together. And so we've never lost that feel of a lot of choreography and moving and dancing.
Yeah.
Especially when in Vegas, you got to, as you know, perform it. You got to have that.
Hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And you got to know that they've paid. You got to perform.
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot from your aunt and uncle. We went and saw Donnie and Marie many times, and we're like, their show is so amazing. And so we've took a lot of.
We learn from each other.
Right.
Yes.
what was it? Good composers borrow, great composers steal. And you meet the same people on the way up as you do on the way down, and being there now to have your own place, your own house in Vegas, to come have new audiences come celebrate you, young and old, and to have that celebration, it's got to be such a rewarding experience. And to be doing it as a family, that is such a whole nother layer and dynamic. I know recently you lost your brother Eugene Wolfgram in 2024. How has that played into your legacy and for the Jets and his, honor to him? We lost my Uncle Wayne not too long ago, and there's something there when you not just lose a family member, but a bandmate, and there's so many other layers to that relation. Talk to me about that a little.
We talk about him in the show now, and it just brings the reality of why we do the things we do, and what's most important and what's not.
Yeah.
And for Eugene, we're still trying. It's going to be a year that he's passed away. In fact, we're having a get together soon here in Salt Lake City. Remember him and do music and his family and children. It's hard. That's all I can say on stage, and half time we're bawling up there because we're just trying to hold our emotions as we see pictures and videos of him. Yeah. But we go on, and as a big family, like the try our best to remember him and all the great things, because he was one of our lead singers, one of the most dynamic personalities in the Jets, and we miss him dear.
A huge influence, and still is on you and your career, and for our audiences that come support you. The sting of death is hard, the mortality side of it, and as you this is your career, as you've built a business around this, and do it together as a family, to lose one of those, that's hard. Our condolences to you and your family.
Yeah. Same, likewise.
And celebrate that life and legacy and that honor. So kudos to you guys. You take the heart of what you have as a family, and you put your passion into that music, into your shows. You also use it to give back, just like you did recently with the Walk to Wendover. And I'll bring you into the conversation here, Chris, for getting the Jets involved in what you do at the foundation. Tell us a little bit about your foundation and what the services are, what the focus is, and what the Walk to Wendover was all about. Because you celebrated 10 years of this. Tell us about the foundation.
Well, the foundation started out in Tooele County in 2015. It came about as a result of what I still call kind of an epidemic we had of suicide, mostly in our youth at that time. And had some amazing, I'm going to call them public servants within our community, John Gossett, the Ed Hansen family, that were trying to figure out a way to figure out why this was happening and what they could do to stop it. And suicide is one of those things that I mentioned epidemic, and it really is nationwide for us. But specific to Tooele County and to Utah, this foundation came about because of the loss of some kids in our community and some kids within our families, and trying to figure out a way to help the people that were still here, whether they had attempted or whether they were families of people that did take their lives, looking for a way to educate, to make some resources available for those people that need the most and didn't have.
Mental health and wellness is a huge factor for so many, all of us, and have the community come together with a great cause like this. And it's tough to be able to walk from Tooele to Wendover 100 miles, to pay to do it, to donate a ton of money, have that go to a great cause, and then experience that hardship together, and the stories that are told, and then to culminate it with a celebration of music with the Jets at the Peppermill in Wendover. Just an awesome gathering, connection with these guys.
We're so blessed to have folks like the Jets that are willing to not just be part of it, but to lead out and step out and raise awareness of what we're trying to accomplish. And again, the Peppermill's been so good to us over the years to allow their venue to be used for this as well. And we truly are blessed to have partners at that level, in addition to the grassroots folks that just want to get on and off a bus for 2 days and walk to Wendover.
The foundation's called Life's Worth Living Foundation. How can people get involved in future events?
Well, in future events, it's really easy. We're very active on social media. The Life's Worth Living Foundation Facebook page is crazy busy. lifesworthliving.com, our website. The ability to reach out and touch us, and we respond to those messages. There are several of us that are admins on that page, and we get people every day reaching out to us looking for solutions, looking for resources, whether it's a group that gets together every couple of times a month and talk about the grief they're experiencing, or education for, we traveled to Richfield or Washington County and talked to their school folks and their church congregation.
Strength in numbers for sure. So
Knowledge is king.
Get involved, just like this family, the Wolfgram family, the Jets. Your experience of getting involved in this, what was that like for you?
Well, it's just natural because, again, we've had situations in our own family like Vanessa had talked about. We know that, the result comes to someone taking their life, but there's so many things that happen beforehand that, the depression that people feel, and also those things that we all talk about as a family. How can we help our huge family prevent that from happening? And that's really the point, is prevention.
Yeah.
So that they know that getting to that level, we don't want them to ever even think about that.
Seeing the signs and things.
And so
lead up to that.
We're just excited. As a matter of fact, we want to maybe talk to them about opening a chapter in Las Vegas.
Oh, that'd be
There's
great.
Huge problems in Las Vegas. Something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to share experience that we had at one of our shows. We always go after and meet and greet our fans. And we had a woman come up to us and she's like, my husband has been struggling with depression. He has been just kind of non-responsive to anything that she was trying to do. And she's like, well, let's go see a show. And so she's looking at her phone, she's looking through, and she's like, let's go see the Jets. Like, okay, and he's like, whatever, I'm just going to go. Well, they come, and she's like, that is the first time I've seen him smile in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because he was shut out from the world, and he in this mental state where no one could reach to him. And so what we do is we're bringing that life out of people. And so for us to be a part of the suicide awareness, it means a lot, because we don't know people that are struggling. We don't know, like, people put on good faces, like they're smiling, they're outgoing, and then all of a sudden you hear that they're gone. And so for us to be a part of this, we're so blessed, honored to be a part of this, because music changes lives. It totally does.
Music is what feelings sound like, and it cuts through. I mean, it sounds like a bumper sticker, it's the universal language. But you're right, Vanessa, it really does. It's so therapeutic and cathartic.
Well, when that lady came up, I remember that. She was like holding on to us, and you could tell that this meant a lot to her. And, as we sat there with her, that what came to mind. There was something about maybe they were, or her husband, was contemplating suicide. And so we get that a lot from people when they come up and say, gosh, and we try to connect in that way, not in a superficial way, but an actual, heart-to-heart way. And this kind of organization does that. And we're hoping to, that to be our next, something that's dear to our hearts.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. Life is worth living. And those are the stories that you know about. I mean, the countless ones that maybe don't share but were impacted. And through the foundation for all the great work you're doing with your music, how much you've been able to touch lives and bring that joy and happiness to others. I remember my dad at the end of their shows, always, he would have this one line. He'd say, we've traveled the world. We've performed so many shows. And one thing we've learned is that everyone's looking for the same, a little bit of happiness and a little bit of joy. And then he'd say, I hope tonight we've been able to bring to you a little bit of that joy as you have to us. Thank you. And it was always so sincere. And you could feel the connection through the music, through the entertainment, and just the life stories that we all have. We're all in the same lifeboat together.
That's right.
And it's a quick journey, right? It's no one's getting out of here alive. Exactly. So stay together, stay strong, and enjoy that journey. You guys are making that worthwhile. Right. Congratulations on this awesome residency down in Vegas. Go check out the Jets. It's at the Planet Hollywood. And you got maybe a new location, but it's within the Planet Hollywood. Is that right?
Same place, yeah. So we're going from the V Theater to the SAC Theater, and so we're excited about that. We're actually filming a special. And
Jets in Las Vegas.
Jets in Las Vegas.
Nice.
We have a long history with Las Vegas.
Yes.
We've been performing there many years.
What's interesting is that I never thought I'd love Vegas.
No.
As you know, you're on the Strip, everything looks like, I'd never live here. But we live in parts of Vegas, you don't even feel like you're on the Strip.
That's right.
And it's beautiful. We have a great community. Yeah.
When you live there, like Henderson or Summerlin or somewhere else, it is a totally different world. And you only go down the Strip when you need to entertain guests from out of town. So if you need to go entertain guests from out of town, there's one place to go. It's either the Jets or Donny Osmond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
No, but go see the Jets, this show. It's always on Saturdays. Is that right?
Yes, for now.
Okay, for now, and it could expand into so much more. And
We were
you'll get a lot
doing,
more aerobics going and more. Yeah.
We were doing 5 days a week, and we had to like cut down to like 3. And I mean, we were literally just icing our knees every night. So guys, well, let's just go like
It
do
takes a
one
toll.
day. Come on, man, we're not going to survive any
I'm
longer.
with you. Anything up next for the Jets beyond this? I mean, you got any other projects that you're looking at?
We've got a lot in the works, but they'll probably make themselves known. Otherwise, we're raising our children. And Vanessa's a mother of 4.
4
Rudy's
children.
got 3,
Congratulations. And you got 3?
3 boys.
Leroy
All
has
right.
3 boys, and I only have
And Heine?
14.
Yeah,
That's it.
only 14.
He
It's a good
thinks our
start.
parents, yes.
You're putting the Osmonds to shame,
Right.
just you.
So the next generation of singers are already coming as well. So they
How many
perform
were in
as
the
well.
original family of the performers, your brothers and sisters?
There were
8 in the original Jets, but 17 altogether.
Yes,
so
that's
17
right.
kids. So.
That's amazing. What a,
and his kids have their own band called
Right, so we
13
got-
Crowns, and they're great.
13 Crowns?
Right. So
Awesome.
they perform as well. And so the music just keeps on going.
The Wolfgram family, the talent runs deep. It's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
about, so you mentioned the kids, for those that might be listening or they want to get into the music industry, because it has evolved, it's changed, there's a lot of things are different, but there's a lot of similar principles. What advice would you give to someone that wants to follow your footsteps and say, I want to do this too?
Well, today, you have all the tools at your hands. You can record at home. You've got all the software, they just made it so much easier than us. We have to go to the studio and get with a professional producer and mixer. Everything can be done at home. And as long as you're artistic and know how to use all those tools,
I
link
think
up
the
with
number
other
one
folks.
thing that I would advise is basically you have all the tools, plus you have an avenue, social media. If you know how to do social media correctly, have a chance. Write music and the ability to use social media. That's the components.
Those are the mechanics of being a musician and getting things done. What about the emotional, personal side? Anything that people should prepare for if they get into the music industry? Vanessa, you got some thoughts, I can tell.
I do have some thoughts. I would suggest getting out there because anyone can sing. Anyone can have a voice. But you have to learn how to perform. You have to learn how to act. You have to learn how to make a connection with your audience. So it's a lot more than just standing up there and singing a song. So there's more feeling in it and more that goes into it.
Right.
Great advice, for sure. It's like Ratatouille. Anyone can cook.
Right.
Anyone can sing. It's controlled yelling. That's all it is.
Right.
But putting the heart into it and being able to have the showmanship behind it,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother layer to consider and think about. But get out there, get the experience, get your 10,000 hours, as they say.
That's right.
And do what you love and love what you do. It's awesome. And work with great people like what you're doing with this foundation, Life's Worth Living Foundation. Thank you for being here, Chris. I appreciate
appreciate the
it.
opportunity.
You're hanging with the cool kids, man. This is
I
awesome.
feel like it.
It's really cool. And it's a match made in heaven. And thank you for all you do for so many families that are out there.
Appreciate you.
And to the Wolfgrams, thank you for being on Fresh Off the Set. It's so great to
you.
catch up with you guys for a bit. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for listening. Again, my name is David Osmond. Thanks for joining us today.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.